Oilers and Flames both trying to snap 5-game losing streaks. As Bob Hartley said this morning, this is a game that could get one team headed in the right direction while the other one will feel a lot more pain. To the broadcast booth we go. Here's Rick Ball with Kelly Rudy. Rick.
Thank you, Scott. Yes, two struggling teams, always a little something special in the air, though, when it's the Battle of Alberta. As we check the starting goaltenders, Devan Dubnyk makes his 7th straight start for the Edmonton Oilers. Played last night, too, and a quick turnaround, a late night because of the weather, but he's back between the pipes again tonight for Edmonton. And it's the 26-year-old Swiss rookie, Reto Berra, making the 6th start out of the last 7 games for him, as he has made his NHL debut over the last few weeks. Played well early especially, but got yanked last game and was one of many Calgary Flames who had a tough night in their last outing. First of 5 meetings this season between these two teams. And we'll have top line against top line to start this game. Rob Martel and Tim Peel are the referees for tonight's contest. We are underway in Calgary. Butler with the puck, feeds it ahead to Stajan. Stempniak chases up to it on the right side. Works it just inside the line, bumped by Beloff, but it goes towards the corner. Stajan behind the net, watched by Nugent Hopkins. Beloff to the puck on the near side. Eberle can't get it out, bounces to the slot here. Stempniak with a chance, cuts out front with the shot, hit the goal post. Off the pad of Dubnyk and off the post. And a close call 30 seconds into this one for Calgary. Taylor Hall back the other way. Hall works it down the wing behind the net. Coming out front of the forehand, turns to the backhand in the corner. Brody watches him. Eberle goes out front. Puck poked away from Hall. There's Stempniak, and he'll work the puck to safety and fire it in deep. Good start for the Flames. Petrie goes back to it. Both teams change. Ryan Smith lost the puck at the line. Barrett's checks Hoodler, but following up is Camilleri over the line. Nifty move, and with a shot. Dubnyk makes the save. And he's been tested a couple of times early in this one as Camilleri got right to the front of the goal with a great move. And he goes back to the puck now in his own zone. He whips it around the boards. And out. Petrie at his own line. Perron at center ice. Settles it down, puts it deep, heads to the bench. Russell. Turned back by Gagne. Gets it ahead now. Gagliardi tied up at the line by Potter. And the Oilers take control. There's Yakupov. Scored the lone goal for Edmonton last night. Potter now. Nick Schultz. Hemsky tips it in. Smith back to it. Yakupov on his tail. Oilers have not generated a chance yet. Flames have had 2.
2 pretty good ones, Rick.
Yeah, great ones.
Yeah.
The puck goes out of play at the Edmonton bench.
So Lee Stempniak gets a first great scoring chance for the Flames early in this first period. I like how the way he changes the angle right there. That fools Dubnyk just a little bit. Let's take a look at another angle of it. Make sure it didn't cross the goal line. Good active stick by Dubnyk, and then Camilleri gets a great chance. Petrie, this is not how you want to start your first shift. Letting Camilleri walk right around you, so I'm sure Petrie's going to have a little talk to himself on the bench, Rick, like, I got to start off a little bit better here.
Absolutely. That was a great move by Camilleri, but you're right, Petrie probably has a different opinion on how things went down there. Mike Camilleri's been hot, too. He has 5 goals in his last 6 games and almost made it 6 and 7.
Is that surprising to anybody?
Not at all.
Leading the team with 8 goals.
Scoreless game early. Gazdic gets it down the ice, but this is going to be icing on the Oilers. So, great start for the Flames. 2 minutes and 18 seconds into the hockey game.
And 2 shots, which it hasn't been easy for the Flames to get shots, generate scoring in the first period especially. Take a look at some of those numbers. Other than the Colorado game, those are some pretty low totals, Rick.
And they've been outscored 23-13 in first periods throughout the season, too. So it's not just the shots. They got to generate more offense. And it's fair to say for both these teams. Obviously, they're struggling badly. They both lost 5 in a row. And I agree with what Scott mentioned in the just prior to the face-off about Bob Hartley saying this morning. This is the kind of game where one team's going to get life and the other one just goes further into the hole. Camilleri battling in the corner. Puck squirt free. Larson's there. I'm sure if he was going to play tonight. Thought we might see the debut of the first-round draft pick on the back end for the Oilers tonight. Oscar Klefbom, but Klefbom sent back down to Oklahoma City, excuse me, and Larson's still in the lineup.
No offense to Larson, but I was really looking forward to seeing Klefbom for the first time myself.
Interesting bit of player movement the last 24 hours for the Oilers. They sent Mark Arcobello down, who's tied for second in rookie scoring in the league. They call it Klefbom because they thought they might have an issue on the back end. And then both players switched today, but Arcobello wasn't recalled soon enough to get into the lineup tonight for the Oilers.
Especially with the weather here in Calgary right now.
It's been ugly. Puck fired in by Camilleri, steered away by Dubnyk. Petrie gave it away behind that to stage it. Pudler's out front, but Petrie recovers to take the pass away. Now Ferentz in the corner, ahead to Eberle. Slides the puck to the line, and it's carried out by Nugent Hopkins. Head for Hall, a little too far. Did he get a stick on it? No. They're going to wave it off. I guess he did, so no icing on the play. As the Oilers able to make a change, Brodie brings the puck out of his own end. Drops it off to Butler. Baertschi over the line. Flips it ahead to Backlund. Settles the puck down for a shot. Dubnyk makes the save. And it's cleared past the point out to center ice. Ladislav Schmid feeds the puck on the right side to Smith. He'll flip it in. Schmid said it feels weird, but it's exciting to play against his old team. Just his third game as a Calgary player. And he gets to face the team that traded him. As he has the puck back at the point with a shot through traffic, Dubnyk makes the save. Schmid gets it back. Looks for a lane. Passes across instead to Smith. He puts the puck into the corner. Big hop off the boards. And Ryan Smith will bring it out. Lead pass to David Perron. Works it down the wing by himself with a shot. There's Bear's first save on a sharp angle shot by David Perron. Gagliardi able to clear. Potter takes it away to his own blue line for the Oilers. Nick Schultz now. Sam Gagner takes the pass. Puck played deep. Schmid to it. Gagner lone man in, so Schmid will circle the net and feed it up the left wing to Colburn. Colburn works it over the line. Fires the puck around the boards. Yakupov there, but it's picked up by Boma on the right wing. Down low for Brian McGrath. Russell activates. Puck played to an open side. Potter over to him. Ahead to Yakupov, and out he comes. Passes for Hemsky. Put it behind him. Broken up by Russell, and the Flames turn back up ice. Brian McGrath down the wing with a wrister towards the goal. That goes off the stick of Larson and out of play.
Flames now with 5 shots early in this first period. Devan Dubnyk's going to make another good one here on Backlund. Holds his ground, times it just perfectly. Devan Dubnyk's been really good, though, the last little while. Take a look at some of his numbers this week. Is excellent versus Dallas, only letting in 1 goal and 3 last night on 37 pretty difficult attempts versus San Jose. And so he had a little bit of a hiccup there earlier in the year with that ankle injury, but seems to be really rounding into form, playing like he did last year.
Shot off the draw by Brodie, never got through. A little pressure on Dubnyk, too, with the acquisition of Ilya Bryzgalov, who made his debut last night in the AHL.
And not a great one at that.
We'll talk about that in a second. You've been through that before.
I have. It's not easy to go down when you're an NHL veteran.
Here comes Baertschi. Feeds it out front. There's a chance off the goalpost. Brodie jumps up on the rush. That's the second post in the first 5.5 minutes of this game for the Flames. Still scoreless. Brodie looking for his second goal of the year. Flames right back on the attack. Puck behind the net. Fell off, plays it over, but it's stolen there by Camilleri. Camilleri to Stajan. All Calgary early. Here's Russell at the line. Looks for a lane. Shoots. Glove save by Dubnyk. He's seen it up and hangs on.
You were talking about Brodie, and we were talking to Bob Hartley this morning about him and said, yeah, the last 3-4 games, he's been much, much better, and it's because of his skating ability. And here's an example of it. Jumping into the play, getting a pretty good chance right there, hitting the post. But that's what Brodie was doing last year, the last 15 games or so. He really elevated his game and had little spurts this year where he wasn't quite as good because he wasn't skating as much. Now he's back. It's good to see back playing like he can.
Yeah, and Hartley did mention specifically his skating. He says when he's on, he is a great skater, and a lot of his confidence, too, with a young defenseman. He's 23, but he...
And if you take chances and you're not rewarded, and maybe scoring chances the other way, you're a little bit more hesitant.
Speaking of defensemen, there's Smith jumping up in the play and jamming a shot on goal. Turned aside by Dubnyk. All Calgary early on this one. Ryan Smith will take it away. Out to center for Perron. Bouncer has to turn back. Checked by Schmid. Perron regroups. Calgary changes, so he works it over the line with a wrister. That's blocked by Schmid. And Camilleri will feed it out. Backlund feeds it out to David Jones. Bounces the puck to the goal. It's tipped just wide of the net by Gagliardi. Another close call.
It's the best I've seen the Flames skate in about 3 weeks.
I think probably since the last time we were here, Kelly, doing the Washington game.
Yeah.
Very similar start for Calgary in that one.
Even though you said they're on a 5-game losing streak, they look very confident right now.
Nick Schultz to the puck for the Oilers. They got to get it going the right way. Petrie. Now Hemsky. Rister put it just wide. Vera got a piece of that, I think. Puck comes to the point. Belloff kept it in, but now it's taken out the center ice. A roller. Flames looking to break in with an odd man rush. Can't do it. Bratton able to settle it down and fire it deep. Dubnyk played up the glass himself. Hit Yakupov and falls to the corner. Sam Gagner races to it. Gagner up the wing to Hemsky. Carries over the line. Gagner to the net. Feeds it to the trailer. That's Yakupov, top of the circle with a shot. Put that just wide. That didn't miss by much. Here's Hemsky. Gagner, shot. Vera, good position, makes a sharp angle save, and he's able to hang on. Calgary with all sorts of pressure, but the Oilers turn it on a bit that last shift. We're still scoreless on Hockey Night in Canada.
Welcome back. Ilya Bryzgalov signed to a one-year deal by the Oilers last week. Saw his first action in 6 months last night for Oklahoma City and Abbotsford. And he got lit up for 5 goals on 24 shots and a 5-4 loss. The original plan was for Bryzgalov to get a couple of starts in the AHL last night and tonight, and then join the Oilers perhaps as soon as tomorrow. He is playing again tonight, and Oklahoma City's leading 3-1 in Abbotsford. Bryzgalov has faced 22 shots, and they're in the third period, so whatever rust was in his game last night, Bryzgalov appears to have shaken off, and he may join the Oilers sooner than later, to the chagrin of Devan Dubnyk, I would expect.
Right. Mr. Universe could be making his way to Edmonton.
That's what we're calling him now? He's got a new label, does he?
Well, that's what I'm calling him anyway.
See what Edmontonians think about that.
They hope he plays like Mr. Universe. Although, as you mentioned, Dubnyk has certainly played well in the last few games for the Oilers as he makes his 7th straight start. He's been sharp early and has had the help of the goalpost a couple times as well, as we get an offside at the Edmonton blue line.
I found it real interesting what Bob Hartley did yesterday at practice, because they're really soundly beaten on Thursday by Dallas, and one of the things that Bob wanted to do is lighten the mood yesterday at practice and make sure that the guys came in. Remember to smile and have a good time. You can see the happy faces on the bench right now. And the other thing I liked, he wanted to stop talking about having a good start. They've been talking about it for 3 weeks, and the players, I'm sure he thought, were sick of it already.
Well, not talking about it seems to have worked. Even though it's scoreless, they have been the better team by a wide margin early in this one as the puck comes to Dubnyk and he's able to cover up.
Now, I don't normally put much credence in the morning skate, but I think all of us would admit that we're here this morning. The Flames are flying in practice. They looked really good. It looked as though a weight had been lifted off their shoulders. They had jumped, they had attitude, and it's showing right now.
And a lot of chatter, Kelly. Often when a team's struggling, it's a morgue during the morning skate, and that wasn't the case this morning with Calgary. Puck back to the line. Shot deflected just wide. Smith pulled the trigger. Schmid activates. Perron pokes the puck past him, but Camilleri hustles back to keep it onside. Into the corner. Hoodler being worked over there by Petrie. Jam away along the boards. Boyd Gordon able to work it free, and there's Perron trying to clear. He'll get a bounce off the leg of Schmid right to Smith, who carries to the line. Poke checked nicely there by Smith, and the rush broken up. Both teams start a change. Perron alone at center ice. Gains the red line and plays it deep. Shots are 7-2 Calgary. 9 minutes gone here in the first scoreless game. Round 1, Battle of Alberta this year. Ladislav Schmid ahead to David Jones. Checked by Schultz. Nick Schultz and Jones. The battle for the puck. Gagliardi takes a bump as he steps over the line. Hemsky gave it away to Gagliardi. Trying to work it from behind the net. Got tied up by Potter. Puck played back to the line. Weidman on the backhand. Puts the puck to the inboards. Gagliardi going for it there. Good shift for the Flames. Backlund knocks down Gagner and takes the puck away. Michael Backlund. TJ Gagliardi works up the wall on the backhand. Haven't been able to generate a shot here, but they kept the pressure on in the offensive zone. Now Edmonton finally clears, only out the center. Now is Hemsky down the wing. Over the line, Yakupov joins it. Hemsky fans on the shot. Now he tries for a sharp angle. That goes off a stick to the other side where Brian McGrattan picks it up off the boards. McGrattan down the wing with speed over the line. First shot on goal. Dubnyk makes the save. Lost the puck. It's in the crease, and now he's able to cover up. Wasn't sure where it was. But Devan Dubnyk hangs on as the Flames get their 9th shot on goal past the midway mark of the first. We are scoreless in Calgary on CBC.
Welcome back. Ilya Bryzgalov signed to a one-year deal by the Oilers last week. Saw his first action in 6 months last night for Oklahoma City and Abbotsford. And he got lit up for 5 goals on 24 shots in a 5-4 loss. The original plan was for Bryzgalov to get a couple of starts in the AHL last night and tonight, and then join the Oilers perhaps as soon as tomorrow. He is playing again tonight, and Oklahoma City's leading 3-1 in Abbotsford. Bryzgalov has faced 22 shots, and they're in the third period, so whatever rust was in his game last night, Bryzgalov appears to have shaken off, and he may join the Oilers sooner than later, to the chagrin of Devan Dubnyk, I would expect. Right.
Mr. Universe could be making his way to Edmonton.
That's what we're calling him now? He's got a new label, does he?
Well, that's what I'm calling him anyway.
See what Edmontonians think about that.
I hope he plays like Mr. Universe. Although, as you mentioned, Dubnyk has certainly played well in the last few games for the Oilers as he makes his 7th straight start. He's been sharp early and has had the help of the goalpost a couple times as well, as we get an offside at the Edmonton blue line.
I found it real interesting what Bob Hartley did yesterday at practice, because they're really soundly beaten on Thursday by Dallas, and one of the things that Bob wanted to do is lighten the mood yesterday at practice and make sure that the guys came in. Remember to smile and have a good time. You can see the happy faces on the bench right now. And the other thing I liked, he wanted to stop talking about having a good start. They've been talking about it for 3 weeks, and the players, I'm sure he thought, were sick of it already.
Well, not talking about it seems to have worked. Even though it's scoreless, they have been the better team by a wide margin early in this one as the puck comes to Dubnyk and he's able to cover up.
Now, I don't normally put much credence in the morning skate, but I think all of us would admit that we're here this morning. The Flames are flying in practice. They looked really good. It looked as though a weight had been lifted off their shoulders. They had jumped, they had attitude, and it's showing right now.
And a lot of chatter, Kelly. Often when a team's struggling, it's a morgue during the morning skate, and that wasn't the case this morning with Calgary. Puck back to the line. Shot deflected just wide. Smith pulled the trigger. Schmid activates. Perron pokes the puck past him, but Camilleri hustles back to keep it onside. Into the corner. Pudler being worked over there by Petrie. Jab away along the boards. Boyd Gordon able to work it free, and there's Perron trying to clear. He'll get a bounce off the leg of Schmid right to Smith, who carries to the line. Poke checked nicely there by Smith, and the rush broken up. Both teams start a change. Perron alone at center ice. Gains the red line and plays it deep. Shots are 7-2 Calgary. 9 minutes gone here in the first scoreless game. Round 1, Battle of Alberta this year. Ladislav Schmid ahead to David Jones. Checked by Schultz. Nick Schultz and Jones. Battle for the puck. Gagliardi takes a bump as he steps over the line. Hemsky gave it away to Gagliardi. Trying to work it from behind the net. Got tied up by Potter. Puck played back to the line. Weidman on the backhand. Puts the puck to the inboards. Gagliardi going for it there. Good shift for the Flames. Backlund knocks down Gagne and takes the puck away. Michael Backlund. TJ Gagliardi works up the wall on the backhand. Haven't been able to generate a shot here, but they kept the pressure on in the offensive zone. Now Edmonton finally clears, only out the center. Ales Hemsky down the wing. Over the line, Yakupov joins him. Hemsky fans on the shot. Now he tries for a sharp angle. That goes off a stick to the other side where Brian McGrattan picks it up off the boards. McGrattan down the wing with speed over the line. First shot on goal. Dubnyk makes the save. Lost the puck. It's in the crease, and now he's able to cover up. Wasn't sure where it was. But Devan Dubnyk hangs on as the Flames get their 9th shot on goal past the midway mark of the first. We are scoreless in Calgary on CBC. Well, Kelly, Brian McGrattan will be joining you and Scott on After Hours tonight. Nice burst of speed down the wing for the big guy.
Showing us what he can do here. A pretty good wrister right there, too, giving Dubnyk a little bit of trouble. Here's another guy that's motivated tonight, Michael Backlund, with a couple of good shifts. He had a good scoring chance earlier, and maybe it's because of this talk he had this morning with Bob Hartley. It lasted about 5 minutes. And, you know, the thing is with Backlund, he's getting a chance now. He's on that third line with Gagliardi and Jones. Thursday night versus Dallas, he was on the fourth line with limited ice time.
Shot off the draw, steered away by Dubnyk. Looks like he got a piece of that. It's been all Flames in this one, but we're still scoreless. Whack away along the boards. Now a shot by Monahan doesn't get through. Blocked in front of the goal, and Ryan Smith will work it out. Dumps it in. Boyd Gordon on the forecheck. Berra out of the goal. He's been very quiet back there. Hasn't been forced to do much so far in this game.
Which is not easy after you're pulled your last game.
Yep.
I'd like to see some shots.
Oilers get it in, make a change. Vladislav Smith. Third game as a Flame, first against his old team. Now Berchi carries in down the wing with speed, trying to work around Petrie. Can't. Puck comes back to the line. Butler fakes, plays it down low. Nice job by Stajan to get it up. Shot wide by Monahan. Stepniak, pulled the trigger on that one and missed the net. As the Oilers break back. Joensuu over the line. Popped it up. Three Flames out the center, led by Sven Berchi. Stajan and Stepniak with them, but they go offside at the Edmonton blue line. Take your game to the next level with Hockey Night's second screen. Interact and compete for prizes. Be part of our broadcast. Join us at cbcsports.ca/second screen.
Matt Stajan scored 2 goals on Thursday. Makes a pretty good play right here from behind the net. Just had an idea that Stepniak was out front. Stepniak can't get everything on that one, but nice little play by Matt Stajan. Like I said, following up a terrific game on Thursday with 2 goals, including a slapper that he beat Kerry Lentonen on in the second period.
Playing in his 12th game this year, he suffered a Charlie horse, severe Charlie horse in the season opener and missed a bunch of games. Rounding back into form for the Calgary Flames. They go right back to work in the offensive zone. The ice has been tilted here in the first period. Taylor Hall gets the puck at center. Hall plays the puck to Nugent Hopkins. Everly goes to the net. Puck never got through. Butler ties up Nugent Hopkins. Everly gets it free on the half wall, drops it off. Nugent Hopkins behind the net for Hall. Back to the corner, check by Brody. And David Jones is there to clear the puck out to center ice. Philip Larson leaves the puck. Nugent Hopkins carries out. Broken up by Hoodler. Here's Monahan down the wing. Sean Monahan, the rookie, to Hoodler. Back to Monahan. Scores! That was a beauty. 1-0 Calgary.
Turnovers once again hurting the Edmonton Oilers. Time and time again. Here it is in the neutral zone. Nugent Hopkins, neutral zone turnover. Monahan here. In fact, I thought he had waited too long, Monahan, to get the puck to Hoodler. I thought that this was going to be a lost opportunity, but Hoodler with that quick pass back, just enough time for Monahan to find that short side. Dubnyk, I'm sure, thought that Hoodler was going to fire it from in the slot.
Gotta feel good for the rookie.
Scored by number 23.
There's a giveaway though for Yakupov, working off the wing fan of the shot. It was a roller. Might have been bothered by Chris Russell coming across. And the Flames able to work it out. Lineman tries a shot. Dubnyk will cover up for the faceoff. But Sean Monahan had just 1 point, Kelly, his last 6 games. And
Now
great start to the year, obviously, and that's a big goal for him.
Now he's tied with Camilleri. Here's that turnover once again. This is where that puck has to get deep. The Oilers have been guilty of this all season long, and they're just having a really hard time breaking old habits. And now with that, here's a view from the LASIK net cam of Monahan tying Mike Camilleri with the lead with the Flames. 8 goals already on this young season.
Started the season on a 5-game point streak with 6 goals. As mentioned, just 1 point his last 6. And
which should be expected, right?
yeah, you're going to have ebbs and flows, especially as a young guy.
Absolutely.
As the puck is iced by the Oilers. Just past the 13-minute mark of the first period. Shots are 10-2 Calgary.
Wow, who would have expected two struggling teams like this, that one would be that dominant. 10-2 the shots right now with 6:56 left. And like we've said, this is an energized Flames team right now.
You wonder about fatigue as well. The Oilers played last night. Usually it's a short trip to Calgary.
That's
because
right.
of the weather, they didn't get in until 2:30 in the morning.
We heard it took them an hour and a half to get from the Rexall Arena to the Edmonton airport. That's a long time in Edmonton.
It's normally only an hour and 20 minutes.
They'd be nice. I grew up there.
They put the airport further away from the city. It's a great airport, and it's a nice city, but wow, that's a long run.
I like the way you're trying to cover up for it now.
Yoan Su takes a pass at center ice. Oilers finish off the change. They work it over the line, but they go offside. The gloves are off. McGrattan drops the mitts with Luke Gazdic. No punches yet. McGrattan lands a right. Gazdic's helmet off. He's a gamer.
Boy, is he ever.
He's taking a few over the top, and he's staying in there.
Wow.
And while this is going on, Beloff is down on all fours at center ice. Grattan lands a couple more. Gazdic still throwing.
Both teams up on the bench, too. Rooting for their teammate. This is a long one. This is a
12-rounder.
That's tiring. These guys are going to be shaking. PJ Stock taught me that once you finally go to the penalty box, you get this nervous energy through your body, get the shakes, cold sweats maybe. Belov was hit by Boma. Take a look on the left-hand side of your screen. You get a shot of her right here. There's Boma coming in. Yeah, he gets him.
Just behind him and got his leg as he went by to the boards.
He was down for a while.
Yeah, he was. I thought maybe McGrattan was involved in that as the fight broke off, but that seemed to be completely separate from the Boma hit. Well, hopefully McGrattan catches his breath by the time he has to come on with you and Scott on After Hours.
Well, we have lots to talk about, don't we? We had a great
right.
scoring chance. We had a fight. All sorts of stuff with Brian McGrattan.
Major penalties to Edmonton's number 20 and Luke Gazdic, and to the Calgary Flames number 16.
So 5 each for fighting.
5 each for fighting.
Gazdic and McGrattan will sit, stay 5 on 5, and icing is waved off. Puck didn't quite go far enough. Taylor Hall on his own end. Nugent Hopkins gets it out to Everly. Potter jumps up on the rush, and he'll give chase. Into the zone, puts it behind the Calgary net. Fairchief's back and lifts it out. A little too far for staging. Nick Schultz will settle it down. So Hall missed him with a pass. That'll be icing on Edmonton. That's kind of the way it's gone for the Oilers here in the first period. Well, all the teams skate a live gala performance. The champions will be crowned on the finale of Battle of the Blades. That's tomorrow at 8 on CBC TV, and I know Kelly will be watching.
I will, in fact. I love Battle of the Blades.
Is PJ doing his Simon Cowell impersonation
I
still?
don't listen to him anymore. Turn the sound down when he's judging. Kurt and Jamie I like, though.
Yeah. 5.5 left. First period. Sean Monahan with a goal. The Oilers and the Flames. Calgary up 1-0 on CBC.
There have only ever been 2 trades between Edmonton and Calgary, and a focal point of the second one's in our Subway Restaurants bio. Ladislav Smid spent 7 full seasons as an Oiler, was dealt to Calgary last week. The gritty shot-blocking defenseman remembers this scrap back in 09 with Mark Giordano, now the Flames captain. The two haven't spoken about it, and Smid says he has no plans to discuss it with Giordano. As he says he doesn't see it as any different from all the chirping he's done against the Flames over the years, but tonight the chirping is going the other way. Rick.
Thank you, Scott. I talked to Smid today, and I said, how'd you find out for the trade? He said, Craig McTavish called him and said you've been traded, but for like 45 seconds, he didn't tell him where. And so Smid says, where am I traded? He said, Flames. Smid said, I had to ask him, could you please repeat that?
I can imagine that.
But he's happy to be here. He knew right away. It's only the second time that these two teams have ever made a deal, which is remarkable. Ryan Smith trying to get things going and turns momentum for the Oilers. Boyd Gordon can't get to the puck. Cleared out by the Flames. Belloff back out there. Good to see him back on the ice after that hit from Boma a few minutes ago. Puck played down the ice by Larson. And this is icing on the Oilers.
Well, Schmid, it's always difficult when you're playing a team that you played so long for, and it's an emotional time. So I asked Bob Hartley this morning, what does he offer? And point blank, he didn't even hesitate. Grit and presence.
Yep.
And that really is what Schmid does. And he said, we'll probably see the best of him once we start to get some leads here, because that's the kind of role that he's best suited for.
A shutdown guy with a shot by Russell, tipped on goal, and Dubnyk's able to squeeze the pads and freeze the puck for a whistle. Kelly, if not for a couple of goalposts and some nice stops by Devin Dubnyk, this could be a lot more lopsided.
This is a sneaky good save. That shot from Russell from the point. Jones in the high slot. That goes 3 feet the other direction. Great reaction by Dubnyk on that one.
Boborn on the draw against Gordon, who wins it. It's Boyd Gordon's specialty. Winning faceoffs. Best one on the Oilers, one of the best in the league, in fact. 58.7% success rate. That's 4th best in the NHL. Flames try and work it out. Colbert knocked down. Potter at center. Will dump it right back in for Edmonton. Approaching the 16-minute mark of the first period. Sean Monahan with the only goal in this one. Shots 11-2. Calgary. Pudler set up the goal. Drops it off for Colborne. Dumps the puck in. Took a whack from Potter as he did it. Nick Schultz doing the puck. Hit by Colbert. Boma trying to get it out front to Hudler. That was blocked by Atkins. Joensuu goes to the puck for the Oilers. Settle things down. And Potter will bring it out. Both teams changing. Long shot on Berra. Steers that away with a blocker. Brody. Quick up to Berchi. Works it down the wing. By himself for the time being. Tries a shot. Petrie deflects that wide. Berchi on the forecheck. Jars it free. There's a shot. Stopped by Dubnyk. As Stepniak pulled the trigger from the circle. Big hit by Stepniak on Andrew Ference. They both go down hard. Ference wants to go. He's right going. Stepniak behind the play. The late penalty coming up is now the gloves are off, and Ference not happy with the hit by Stepniak, and he's going to try to exact some revenge with the knuckles. Don't forget, Stepniak's playing with a broken foot, too.
You don't see these two guys getting involved in the fisticuffs very often. Andrew Ference didn't have a very easy shift on that. Stepniak going to the dressing room for repairs right here. Berchi with a strong presence on the forecheck, though. Leads to this great scoring chance right here. There's Berchi showing great strength. That's something you don't always see. Leads to a great chance by Stepniak. Now here's that hit from Stepniak on Ference that Ference took exception to. Now, I've said this for a long time. Lee Stepniak hits a lot harder than you think he will.
Penalties to Calgary, 5 minutes for fighting.
You know, he's not the biggest guy in the world. He's 5'11", 196 pounds, but he can be devastating with some of those hits.
Yeah, looks like he might have lost a tooth. As Ference lands a good right hand. Interesting call, because I thought there was a delayed penalty coming up before the fight happened, Kelly. And if I heard, there is an extra penalty.
Yes, there is, yeah.
Dave Morris, stats man, on the ball. So an extra penalty to Ference puts Calgary on the first power play of the game. For either team, looking to build on a 1-0 lead late first period. Flames power play that has scored back-to-back games.
Penalties to Edmonton, number 21, Andrew Ference.
Ryan Smith there to clear the zone on the PK. Rolls it on goal. Red O'Bara drops it off. Russell retreats. Sean Monahan to center ice. Fires the puck in high around the glass. Picked up by David Jones. Back to the near point to Russell. They'll get it set up now. Pudler along the boards. Down low for Jones. Try to feed it out front for Monahan, but Schultz saw that coming and blocked the pass. Puck winds up in the corner. Hoodler able to get control. Back to the left point to Russell. Chris Russell. Yuri Hoodler. Cross-ice pass. Camilleri waits. Tries a shot. Didn't get it through. Went off the leg. Comes back to Camilleri. Can't settle it down. Schultz will get help from Gordon to clear the puck down the ice. Flames change up their power play. Backlund down the middle. Over to Colbert. Bumps Acton off the puck, but he tied him up, and that'll nullify the final 56 seconds of the power play for Calgary.
Joel Colburn's surprised here with this penalty. He's arguing that's just great strength right now. And that's one thing that he's awfully proud of how much stronger he is in this, and he thinks that's just a good old-fashioned puck battle.
Did get the stick into the belly, it looked like, of Acton a little bit. Both referees had their hands in the air.
Well, then it's a penalty, isn't it?
What,
if both guys think it's a penalty.
I think it's a penalty if only one guy puts it up in the air.
Two makes it more convincing.
So 4-on-4 for another 52 seconds. Final 2 minutes in the first period. Good first for Calgary, but it's only a one-goal game. Let's see if the Oilers can get some momentum here. They will get a brief power play before the period's out.
Hasn't been a good stretch for the Oilers. They've now been, in their last 6 games, outscored 24-3.
Well, they are the worst team in the league in goals against and goal differential. Minus 32.
Wow.
4 goals against this year. They're staging 4-on-4. Turns away from a check. Lays the puck to the near side. Back to the line. Gagliardi gets the puck to Brody. Shot goes off a foot. Bounces out of the corner. Lively boards here in Calgary. Right to Nugent Hopkins. Oilers will be on a power play in 4 seconds. So on retreat behind the net and wait for the penalty to expire. Hemsky was serving the extra 2. He'll stay out there on the man advantage. Larson feeds it ahead. Perron will work it over the line. Here's Gagne trying to get a pass through. Comes right back to him. Gagne in the corner. Back to the point to Larson. Final minute of play in the first. Larson over to Perron. Back to Larson. Hemsky fakes. Forced to the boards. Plays it to the side of the goal for Smith. Back to Hemsky. Back to the point to Larson. Waiting for traffic. Shot tipped by Smith. Rebound off Berra. Oilers can't get a stick to it. And Backlund's able to fire it down the ice. Best chance of the period for Edmonton. Perron. Ryan Smith tipped it in. Taken away and fired out to center ice and down the ice by Chris Butler. Petrie goes to it. Knocked down by a high stick. 19 seconds left in the period.
Oilers get their first good chance right here. Philip Larson at the point. Excellent play in walking the line and trying to find a lane. Just a soft little wrister there, but it's very effective because Ryan Smith is right in front. Ryan does what he does so well, getting great body position, his hand-eye coordination. I'm surprised it's never, ever gone away at all, has it?
No, and that's where he scores from. I mean,
Yeah.
no joke, because if you added up every goal he scored in the NHL in terms of feet, would it go from one side of the rink to the other?
It would be from about 5 feet in front of the net.
Puck played back in by the Flames, and that should do it for the period. Edmonton power play is over. Shot in on goal, steered aside as the horn sounds, and the first period comes to an end. Goal by the rookie, Sean Monahan. The only one so far in this one is Calgary leads Edmonton by a score of 1-0 in round 1 of the Battle of Alberta.
Flames goal is 8th of the year.
Go back to Studio 42. Here's Ron McLean and Don Cherry.
Coming up in our first intermission tonight, check it out, the Calgary Sun.
After the second period face-off in Calgary, Lee Stempniak is back after that fight with Andrew Ferentz. Looked like he might have lost a tooth.
Not surprised, you know, he is one tough guy. I'll tell you what, he has turned out to be a great veteran too. Talked about that leadership role that he has, and he said this morning it's such a great opportunity for him, and he learned some from really good ones in St. Louis when he was there. He really credits Keith Tkachuk, Doug Weight, and even Barrett Jackman for showing him how to be a leader and how to pat the young guys on the back when they need it, and also how to motivate and push them to be better players.
So he'll sit out the remainder of his 5-minute fighting major. We are back to even strength, and we'll see if the Edmonton Oilers can get things turned in the right direction. It was all Calgary in the first period, but it's only a one-goal game, and that had to be the message from Dallas Eakins during the intermission.
Yeah, they didn't have any energy shifts. You know, that's how you create scoring opportunities.
Here's Eberle with a chance. Lost the puck into the corner. Plays it to the near side to Nugent Hopkins. Top line out for the Oilers. Jones breaks up the cycle. It's fired back in by Bella. Edmonton changes. Flames start a change as well as the forwards head to the bench. TJ Brodie waits. Now working ahead. Long lead pass. Fails to connect. Bella back the other way. Finds Smith at the line. Slides it over. Perron can't reach it. Potter will with a shot. Stopped by Vera. And he's able to hang on. As we send things downstairs, here's Scotto.
Rick, the 1-0 score after one flatters the Oilers, whom assistant coach Steve Smith says made it easy for the Flames by turning the puck over repeatedly, and they need more from their top line. There wasn't nearly enough offense or defense from these three as the Flames against this line attempted 8 shots. So you can see Hall, Eberle, and Nugent Hopkins clearly spent most of the first period in their own end.
Thank you, Scott. And they were on the ice when the goal that Calgary scored as well, Kelly.
Because of a turnover at center ice and Nugent Hopkins again.
Sean Monahan had that goal, has the puck over to Russell, can't get it out. Gagne keeps it in for the Oilers. Gets the return pass from Yakupov. Now Schultz, room to shoot, got it away. That goes off the foot of Hemsky and back to the right point to Potter. Behind the net for Hemsky. Watched by Russell. Hemsky trying to work the puck to the corner. Cycles it to Yakupov. Sean Monahan on Yakupov. He gets it back. One-timer. Nice save by Barrow with the right pad. His best stop of the night. As Gagne was able to pull the trigger. Here's Monahan over the line. He risks one on goal. Knocked down by Dubnyk. Rebound. Winds up on the end boards. Hoodler's there for Calgary. Tried to feed it to Camilleri. That was taken away and cleared. Well, the Oilers in the first minute and 45 seconds have looked better than they did the entire first period. Flames back in. Taken by Petrie, gave it away at the line. Here's Smith working it down the wing with a sharp angle shot. That goes up his leg wide. Oh, up front, Dubnyk's down, trying to cover up. They jam it in, but they're going to wave it off. Referee right there took his time blowing the whistle. Flames are celebrating, but the indication is no goal.
Tim Peel and Rob Martell are the officials in this one. This could... Oh. Well, I couldn't hear, Rick, what he was saying, but I would have to think it's the intent to blow the play down, because it looked as though Devan Dubnyk had the puck under him for quite a while.
That's Rob Martell. He was right there. The whistle came after the puck was in, clearly. But again, Kelly, you're right about it's the intent to blow the whistle. If he was in the process of blowing the whistle,
you could also argue in this case that Dubnyk is being pushed into the goal. I mean, he clearly has possession right there, and David Jones is a big, strong guy, and he used that leverage to push the leg of Dubnyk in the net.
Stays 1-0 Calgary. TJ Brodie will fire it ahead. Nick Schultz races to it. Stempniak on him. Back out of the box after his fight with Andrew Ference. But here comes Nugent Hopkins, wheeling down the wing with speed. Dumps the puck in. Trying to get around Butler, can't. Brodie comes over to help out. Stempniak, nice play out of traffic off the board. Stajan will feed it out to center ice. Berchi gives chase into the zone. Beloff watches him. They go behind the net. Puck winds up in the corner. Stempniak being checked by Taylor Hall. Wins the battle. Hall works the puck out left wing center. Over the line. Drops it off for Eberle. Down low to Hall. Throws it out front. It's intercepted by Stempniak. We'll turn it up ice. Brodie will lead the way. Flames start a change. TJ Brodie dumps the puck in as he takes a bump from Taylor Hall. Hall goes to the bench. Oilers headed in the forecheck. Or the Flames headed in the forecheck into the Oilers zone. Excuse me. Larson back for it. He's hit in the corner by Colburn. Acton trying to help out. Good battle down low. Puck flipped out front by Boma. Batted away by Beloff, and it goes out to center ice. Chris Russell. Colburn tips it deep. Larson, first man back. Turns away from Colburn. Makes a nice play to the corner. Jonsu will carry it out, play it off the boards and in, right on goal. Berra stops the puck and fires it to an open wing. Good draw weight, no icing. That'll allow the rest of that Flames fourth line to head to the bench in a change.
They had a pretty good shift there. Good heavy minute.
The giveaway at the line. Monahan played it to an open wing. Schultz goes to it in the corner. Bouncing puck. Monahan trying to work it off the boards. Does to Camilleri. Comes back to the line. There's Schmid. Long shot. Glove saved by Dubnyk, and he's able to hang on.
Let's revisit the goal. It was disallowed. Referee Rob Martel, far side of the net. You can see that he has a whistle in his mouth. And there, that is the intent to blow the play down. So that's a great shot right there. Showing that Martel, in fact, was ready to blow the play down.
And I agree with you, Kelly. I think Flames fans might be disappointed that wasn't ruled a goal because the puck was in and the whistle blew. I think, regardless of all that stuff, I think it should have been blown dead anyway. Yeah, for sure. Because Dubnyk definitely appeared to have the puck frozen. Yeah. Long enough to get the whistle. That was the ruling. Flames back in. Blocker saved by Dubnyk on a Backlund backhand. Belov. Bumped by Backlund. He's had a good game, too, after his chat this morning with the coach.
Absolutely. He's got energy again. He's got fire in his belly.
Gets the puck back on the half boards. Turns to the forehand. Fires it behind the net. It comes back to the point, but Weidman had moved over. Gets past him and down the ice. Approaching the 5-minute mark of the second period here in Calgary. Nugent Hopkins able to keep that puck in. Ryan Smith plays it to the near corner. David Perron after it. Lets it come to Nugent Hopkins on the half boards with a shot deflected through the crease and out the other side. Smith gets over to it for Edmonton. Cycles the puck to David Perron. Back to the left point to Ference with a wrister. Deflected. Bears down, makes the save, and the puck goes to the end boards. Russell there to clear off the glass and down the ice. Not far enough for icing. Flames able to make a change. Nugent Hopkins himself gets the rest of his line mates out there now. Here's Eberle down the wing. Pushed off the puck by Berchi. Weidman plays it over to Butler. He'll feed it up the board. Stempniak can't get it past Larson. Taylor Hall gets the puck. Nugent Hopkins works it out front with a shot on goal. Berra down to make the stop. Larson at the point. Edmonton pressuring. Looking to equalize. Hall behind the net. Cycles the puck as he gets it loose to Eberle. Back to the line to Schultz. Larson doesn't shoot. Nick Schultz. Across the line to Eberle. Just inside the blue line. Shot deflected off a stick high and wide. Loose puck goes to Butler. He finds Berchi, who clears.
Best shift by the Oilers by mine.
Yes, and here they come again. Eberle carries in with speed. Circles the net. Top line for Edmonton. Showing some jump for the first time tonight. Eberle feeds the puck on the right side. There's a shot. Save. Rebound. Batted down with a high stick. And that will draw the whistle as the Oilers buzz. Trying to tie this game at 1, but it's still 1-0 Calgary, just past the 6-minute mark of the second period on Hockey Night in Canada. On a blustery night in Calgary, the Flames came out with a lot of bluster in their game to start this one and had a 1-0 lead after one. Probably unfortunate not to be up by more than one goal, Kelly, but the Oilers realizing that they may be lucky to get out of that first period trailing just 1-0, and that last shift by the big line of Hall, Eberle, and Nugent Hopkins was their best shift of the night by a mile.
PJ Sauk mentioned how Edmonton's playing like a one-and-done team, and that was their best shift where they actually had some zone time and cycled the puck and created maybe not the best opportunities, but at least they had some zone time. They had some shots that were thrown at Berra, which is a good sign. You can build off that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the criticism of the Oilers is that they look great coming on the rush, but if it doesn't produce a goal, it just kind of dies.
Yeah.
That was a shift there that I'm sure Dallas Eakins' his coaching staff will be very happy with.
And you look at all the successful teams in the National Hockey League, they play heavy minutes. They cycle the puck and they just try and wear you down.
Face-off win for the Flames. Puck cleared out. Blasted right back in by Petrie. The Oilers have outshot the Flames 5-3 in the second period. Laid offside. Gagne tags up. TJ Brody has the puck in behind his own net. Schmid will fire it ahead. It's tipped in by Gagliardi. Petrie back to it. David Jones on his tail. Knocks Petrie down in the corner. Backlund comes in to help, puts it behind the net. Andrew Ference the only one there. And the Oilers defenseman plays it ahead to Sam Gagne. To Petrie. Out to center ice. Here comes Hensky over the line. Cuts to the middle. One-timer. Yakupov turned aside by Berra. Yuri Hoodler gets the loose puck on the far side. Berra complaining behind the play that he was interfered with, to no avail. As Backlund comes back for Calgary with a wrister. That goes off of Dubnyk. I don't think he saw the puck, Kelly.
I don't know if he saw it or if it was deflected. That's a strange reaction.
I'm not sure what happened there, except for the shot stayed out of the net somehow.
I don't know if it didn't hit the crossbar.
It may have. That's bizarre. Flames get it back in. Dubnyk's out of the goal, plays the puck to Nick Schultz. Ryan Smith now, off the boards and out. Picked up by Perron. Has Gordon in front of the goal. That pass broken up by Russell. Larson just off the bench will try a shot, but he came off early. And I think the Oilers might be called for too many men on the ice.
Well, this hurts you when they've fought hard to get some of this momentum back that Calgary gained in the first. And these are the kind of penalties, too many men on the ice, hooking, slashing, holding, those sort of things. Take a look, Oilers far side. Yeah, that's a bad change right there.
That's Petrie going to the bench, and Larson sensing an odd man rush comes out way early.
Here's the one that we're talking about. That was a strange one. It looked like it might have hit Devan Dubnyk in the mask and the shoulder. And here's Yakupov with his one-timer. You know, thing with Berra, why he looks so good in that. One thing Bob Hartley told us this morning is that Berra reads the play so well. He likes his size and the way he can move, but that was a great example of how he read that play, because we all know Yakupov is a great one-timer. So good example of how he can read a play.
Too many men on the ice to call against the
That's
Oilers.
a bench matter. 2 men on the ice.
Calgary's over one of the power play, no shots. They have scored power play goals in back-to-back games.
Bench matter, 2 men on the ice.
David Jones chips and chases. Potter rides him hard in the corner. They both fall down behind the net. Puck comes back to Weidman. Fakes. Plays over to Brody. Back to Weidman. Here's Berchi. Sven Berchi's pass back to Weidman. Broken up nicely by Smith. You talked about his eye-hand coordination earlier in front of the goal. It was a good play by Smith to knock that pass down and fire the puck down the ice.
Experience too. Know where to stand and give yourself a chance. Intercept the puck.
Dennis Weidman out of his own zone. Drop pass to Sven Berchi. Backhands it in. Dubnyk's out of the goal. Will stop it behind the net. Feather the puck into the corner, but racing after it's Camilleri. Cuts it off. Colburn works the puck to the slot. Hassled by Acton. It winds up in the corner. Berchi behind the net to Stempniak. Back to Berchi. Takes his time and finds Camilleri. Berchi now in the circle. Down low, Colburn out front for Stempniak. That pass blocked. Good job by Petrie to get in the way, and the puck's fired down the ice. 43 seconds left in this Calgary power play. Chris Russell, former Medicine Hat Tiger, gets it ahead. Hoodler gets the return pass with a one-timer, put it just wide. Camilleri picks it up out of the corner. On the half boards, turning away from pressure. Nice pass back to Hoodler at the point. Fakes, Camilleri, one-time shot blocked by Andrew Ferentz. Hall can't clear. Kept in, Camilleri. Works it to the half wall. Cross-ice pass, too hot to handle for Hoodler. Bounces outside the zone. There's 10 seconds left in the power play. Maybe one last rush, but Sam Gagner has other ideas. No shots on goal for Calgary. Penalty over. Hemsky was serving it out of the box. As the Oilers play it down the ice, Reto Berra will leave it behind the net. Calgary's 0 for 2 on the power play. Still leading 1-0 midway through the second. And now the Flames are called for icing.
Oilers were really aggressive on this penalty kill, and that's why they had some success. Take a look at the big hit by Potter on Jones. Potter, big guy, 6'3", knows when to use his body. In this case right here, Jones also big, physical forward, and then Jeff Petrie with an excellent aggressive play right there also, and he just stick in the passing lane. So it's a way to build on that period. You know, those are the penalties that you hate to take, the too many men on the ice, just a bad line change. But that's the way you kill that off. That's a deflator if they score on the power play.
So the Oilers, who've been better in the second, see if they can build off that penalty kill. They're going to work with their top line out there, but that's going to be nullified by a tripping call in behind the play. 73 feet away from the puck, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is headed to the penalty box. Calgary's going back on the power play with 9:49 to go in the second. It's Calgary 1 and Edmonton no score on CBC. An exercise pitch stretches a dragon thin, and a natural product causes a big stink on an all-new Dragon's Den, Wednesday, 8 o'clock.
Dallas
CBC.
Sorry, Rick. Dallas Aikens always talks about discipline and not taking bad penalties at the wrong time. No hooking, no holding, no slashing penalties. Well, here's another example of poor discipline with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins taking down Gagliardi at center ice, which is even worse.
So the Oilers PK, which has been good tonight, back to work again. Third power play for the Flames. No shots in their first two. Stepniak puts it off the iron. That beat Dubnyk left side, but couldn't beat the post. Hudler down low. Russell at the point now. On the boards to Hudler. Monahan's in the slot. Stepniak at the side of the goal. Russell back to Hudler. Camilleri's in the other circle. Stepniak's pass blocked by Ferentz. Laid down to get in the way of that one. Flames good job to get the puck back though. Here's Russell. Works it across the line. Over to Hudler. Slot for Monahan. Had his stick tied up by Smith. Put the puck wide. Hudler leaves it in the corner for Stepniak. Out front for Monahan. That was blocked by Schmid. By Petrie rather. Back to the point to Russell. Over to Camilleri. Got it out front. Monahan took it off the skate. It bounces into the corner. Hudler. Up the boards, back to the line of Russell. Works it across. Camilleri. Tried a shot, deflects back to Hudler with a one-timer, stopped by Dubnyk. Loose puck poked to the end boards. Gordon down. Puck under him. This will say move it. They do. Monahan gets it to Hudler. Bounce pass across to Camilleri with a shot. Dubnyk hugs the post. And he's able to freeze the puck for a whistle.
Real good power play right here. Great puck movement by the Flames. Lee Stepniak gets an excellent chance right here. Talked about how hard he can hit. Well, he's got a great snapshot as well. Chris Russell has been an excellent signing by the Flames. Boy, he's got terrific vision. See a couple of examples of it right here. You know, he's averaging over 23 minutes a night, Rick. His career average is 16:43, so it tells you how well he's playing. Mike Camilleri, always dangerous, the side of the net, where he scores a lot of his goals.
A good job to settle that puck down. That was bouncing around like a racquetball, and he was able to settle down and get a shot away. Last 30 seconds of the power play. Here's Berchi, right down the middle. Now Jones. Cross-ice pass for Backlund. Deflected by Gagne. Backlund gets it back to the point. Brody coughs it up, though, and it's fired down the ice by Corey Potter. Final 15 seconds of this penalty to Nugent-Hopkins. Weidman to Berchi. And that'll do it. Potter again clears the puck. Two shots on that power play for the Flames, including plus a goalpost. Calgary's 0 for 3 with a man advantage. Still up 1-0 as the Flames ice the puck.
Mike Camilleri, ever dangerous. Always puts himself in good scoring positions, and he's got that quick release. See an example of it right here. There's the shot block, first of all. That was a shot block, sorry, Rick, by Acton where he went off. We'll talk more about Camilleri and where he gets a lot of his goals from.
Face-off win for the Flames off the icing call. Boma gets it in. He gets rocked by Beloff as he dumps the puck deep. Boma stays on the play, though. Puck played out to the front of the goal. Boma works it to the half wall with a shot. Turned aside by Dubnyk. Oilers control. Nugent-Hopkins wheels to center. Yakupov in on the left wing. Back for Nugent-Hopkins. That's broken up. Boma feeds it ahead. Staging gets it in. Played right back out and down the ice. This will be icing on Edmonton.
Well, let's take a look now at Camilleri and where he likes to park himself. You can just see he finds that little seam right there. And as you said, Rick, settles that puck down nicely. Take a look at a graphic here where his 8 goals are scored from. So if you're the goaltender and you look left and you see Camilleri, think danger.
Be ready.
Be ready.
Shot possibly coming. There's a shot off the draw that didn't get through traffic. Loose side of the goal. Monahan battling with Nugent-Hopkins in the corner. David Perron flips it ahead. Hudler takes it away. Russell at the line. Fakes. Now he shoots. Deflects on goal. Stopped by Dubnyk. That changed direction to the top of the crease. Dubnyk steered to the side. Puck in the corner. Bounces free. Camilleri gets it back to Monahan with a shot off the glove of Dubnyk and wide. Flames turn up the heat. looking to build on a 1-0 lead. They can't keep it onside. Weidman has to regroup at center ice. Over for Russell. Got it over the line. Calgary in the middle of a change. And I think the Flames may be called for too many men. They talk it over. Looks like Edmonton is going on the power play. Still some discussion, Kelly. And I think that'll be the call.
Yeah, discussion or confusion, I'm not sure. Yeah, you can see the, yep, for sure, there's no question about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there were 6 on the ice that time.
So each team has taken a too many men on the ice penalty in this period. Edmonton gets its second power play of the game. They're 0 for 1, had 1 shot on their first chance, which was abbreviated. And they will send out Gagne, Ryan Smith, Hemsky, Beloff, Larson. Gagne against Stajan on the draw. Oilers win the faceoff and try to get it set up. Here's Ryan Smith in the corner now for Hemsky. Back to the point to Larson. Hemsky. Larson. Beloff took it off the skate. Cross ice for Hemsky. Still no shots. Hemsky gets the puck back. To the line to Larson. There's a shot deflected by Smith and steered away by Barra. Schmid works the puck free. But they cough it up. Larson back at the line. Philip Larson. Now Ales Hemsky with a shot. Pad save. Rebound. Gagne stopped by Barra. Loose puck goes wide of the goal of the end boards. Oh, a golden opportunity for Sam Gagne. And Reto Berra shuts the door. Boma able to get the puck out and down the ice. That close to being a tie game.
I think we just witnessed his best ever National Hockey League save. I was certain Gagne was going to put that behind him.
Bob Hartley saying earlier today, reminds him a bit of Mike Smith. Big and mobile. He's a Flames player back down the ice. And then I asked him, does he handle the puck as well as Mike Smith? He goes, most defensemen don't handle the puck as well.
They don't.
Yakupov in his own zone. 35 seconds left in the too many men in the ice penalty. Yakupov pops it up though. Backroom steals. Here's Stempniak short-handed. Shot deflects to Dubnyk and he's forced to hang on.
Turnovers right now for both teams. Matt Stajan is normally the most dependable guy in his own zone. Fires this one right up the gut. That's picked off, and that's going to lead to the Larson over to Hemsky, and then they attack from there, and this is a sequence of saves right there. That's what happens when you're 6'3", Rick, and you're a goaltender. You can spread out like that. Ryan Smith, of course, dangerous. Well, I'll tell you, that's a great effort by Bear.
You can be at the side of the net and still stick your leg back into the goal.
I wish only. My short little legs didn't have that ability.
Late in the power play for the Oilers. Everly will dump it in. Barra leaves it behind the net. Puck fired up, not out. Taken away and fed ahead by Butler, and that should do it. Final 5 seconds of the penalty. Berchi was serving it. He'll head onto the ice. 3 shots on goal for the Oilers. Some great chances, but it's still 1-0 Calgary. Everly back in. Forced to the boards by Schmid. Hall missed Nugent Hopkins in the corner. Petrie will activate. Puts it behind the net. Everly back for Nugent Hopkins. He was checked by Schmid. Now Hall cuts out front with a shot. Put it across the top of the crease. Everly gets to it. Works it to the line. Makes a nice move to open ice with a slapper. That goes up high off the glass. Stays in play. Everly after it. Knocked off his stick on a good play by Monahan and cleared up by Yuri Hudler.
Much better period by the Oilers, Rick. They sustained a little bit of pressure, and it's an even playing field right now.
Yeah, not even the same team
No.
to what we saw in the first. They have not been able to equalize, though. Here comes Colburn down the wing. Turns. Puts the puck down low. Comes back to him at the right point. Joe Colburn off the glass. Brian McGrattan can't knock it down. Roma will. Colburn to the line. One-timer. McGrattan there on the redirect, and Dubnyk with the save. And the puck's given away. Not out, though. Potter checked by Colburn. I think Brian McGrattan is inspired by his appearance tonight on After Hours. He's played well.
Aren't all the players inspired when they know they get to visit with Scott and I?
I shouldn't act so surprised. Another giveaway. Stage it in deep. Out front for Berchi. Weidman will shoot. Scores! Second of the year for Dennis Weidman. 2-0 Calgary.
Weidman just has such a good feel when to sneak in from the point, and he's always lurking. Here's a turnover right here by the Oilers. Leads a little bit of a mad scramble right here. Broken play, and you can see Weidman. He's 15 feet inside the blue line right there. Just recognizes when there might be a loose puck. Lee Stempniak right in front, and Dubnyk, you can tell from his reaction, just couldn't see it. Not sure even if he saw it, he is able to save that. That's one of the hardest shots in the National Hockey League. By
Last goal is
and off the posted in, so perfectly placed. And despite the Oilers' pushback in the second period, Calgary able to extend the lead. Edmonton wants to get that one back with 2.5 to go. Shot from the line by Ferentz, never got through, blocked in front of the goal by Chris Butler. Oilers stay on. Get it back, play behind the net. Butler there ahead of Yakupov. Brody will put it up the boards. Jones can't get it out. Ferentz keeps it onside. Butler. Again, Ferentz activates, but it's poked free, and now the Flames break out. Gagliardi to David Jones. Bounces the puck over the line. Jones plays it in, hit awkwardly by Ferentz. They separate. Edmonton has the puck, and Yakupov will get it to center ice. Nice play by Gagne to knock that pass down, but by himself, taken away by Weidman. Pokes it ahead to Camilleri. 4 Flames over the line. Camilleri's pass intercepted. Gagne back, broken up by Yakupov. Gagne will flip it in on goal. A bouncer stopped by Berra as the Oilers finish off the team.
That was a dangerous play. Berra had trouble with that one.
Short hopper on the shortstop. Here's Camilleri over the line. Monahan out front, pass never got through. Hoodler stays hard on the forecheck. Camilleri still in deep. Hoodler gets it back to the line of Weidman. Does he have another one in him? Weidman, slap shot. That goes off a stick over top of the net. Camilleri checked on the end boards by Larson. Belloff takes the puck away. Oilers defenseman gets it ahead. Gazdic will dump it in, and a spirited fight with McGrattan in the first period. Acton in. Out front. Pass never got off the heel of the stick. Everly rather, intercepted by Hoodler. Gets it out to Berchi, over the line to Hoodler, trying to cut out front, swatted away from him by Nick Schultz, who goes for the puck in the corner.
There's 1 minute remaining in the second
We
period.
hit the final minute of play in the second period. Berchi, chip pass for Stage and didn't connect. Here comes Nugent Hopkins the other way, and the Oilers may have been caught with too many men on the ice as we get some pushing and shoving deep in the zone after the whistle. May have been an offside. Looks like cooler heads will prevail here. 52 seconds left in the second. Dennis Weidman, the arrow, makes it 2-0 Calgary on Hockey Night in Canada.
Michael Elias to the game.
To CBCSports.ca/Power Picks and choose your Silverado Power Picks for this week. Each vote counts as a chance to win a 2014 Chevy Silverado.
All right, so there's Joe Colburn of the Calgary Flames. Kelly, you're friends with his dad, Paul, who is a former quarterback with the University of Calgary. We mentioned that today because the University of Calgary knocked off Western 44-3 in the CIS football playoffs. University of Calgary going on to play Laval in the Vanier Cup next week.
Blake Nill has done an amazing job with the UFC Dinos since coming here. I mean, they are a powerhouse now. It's great to see.
I mean, Western was just racking up the points, and they get clobbered. I mean, the weather wasn't very good, but still to win by 41, that's an impressive victory.
Unbeaten, 11-0 this season.
There you go.
Congratulations to the Dinos.
Big football game here tomorrow as well. The Western final in the CFL, the Stampeders and the Rough Riders.
Well, I know who's going to win that one.
2-0 Flames in the final minute of the second period. In a better period for the Oilers, but they're down by a pair. A shot by Larson that's blocked in the circle and carried out by Boma. Up there with Stempniak right now. That's Boma flips it in. Larson plays the puck to the boards off of Everly.
Boma, Rick, has been a healthy scratch for 3 games, so finally back in the lineup.
There's a chance for Brody for a one-timer through traffic. That goes off Larson wide. Stage it. He'll get a shot away, and that's into the breadbasket. Dubnyk able to hang on with 5.4 seconds to go.
Well, I know I'll be watching that football game tomorrow with much anticipation.
Snow's supposed to stop, but it's supposed to be, what, minus 15 tomorrow?
Yeah, with wind. Never great in McMahon Stadium when it's windy.
Is it ever not?
Good point.
No joke about one day the wind stopped, everybody fell over. That stadium, I don't know what it is. It's like a wind tunnel. Last few seconds of the second period, horn sounds, and despite the fact Kelly, the Oilers are much better in that period, the Flames get the only goal.
Yeah, they were much better for sure.
Dennis Weidman, Sean Monahan scores in the first, and Calgary's up by a score of 2-0 on Hockey Night in Canada.
Flames by 2 heading for the third. They're rising above their injury list. Giordano and Glencross both long-term, but they got Lee Stempniak back from an ankle injury suffered on a shot block against Dallas a couple of games ago. Stempniak's okay on skates, but not so much in shoes, as he's still wearing a walking boot as a precaution. So there's the ankle and now his face, which was marked up tonight in the first period scrap with Andrew Farron. Stempniak clearly a less than willing combatant, but he's been effective tonight. 11 minutes, 44 seconds of ice time, 3 shots, and a couple of hits for the Calgary Flames. Rick.
Thank you, Scott. Boot to skate to boot.
So it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
That was his word, how he described it. That is strange, though. You walk into the rink, you keep the boot on, walking cast, put your skate on, and the moment, and I watched him do it, the moment he takes his skate off, right back into the walking cast. And I asked him how much longer. He said he wasn't all that sure, but he kind of mentioned a week maybe.
So the Flames into the third with a 2-0 lead on the Oilers. Edmonton 1-11. Great move by Stajan with a chance out of the corner. He put it off the outside of the net. That materialized out of nowhere. Stajan again, top of the circle with a wrister. It was a rolling puck. He whistled high. Yakupov puts it behind the net to Belov. Big Russian gets the puck to Larson. And it's played out to center ice. Eberle's there. Mates go to the bench and a change as Eberle chips in and gives chase. Took a bump in the corner from Brody. Butler chips it back to the boards. Stempniak trying to get it out. He can't, but following up is Berchi. Sven Berchi to center. Plays it deep and heads off. Oilers 1-11 this season when trailing after 2. Calgary 2-0-2 when leading after 2 periods of play. Flames get it back in. Gagliardi on the forecheck, bumps Petrie in the corner. David Jones comes in to help. Nugent Hopkins there, watched by Gagliardi. Puck played out front, knocked away by Andrew Ference, but Backlund battles hard to get it back, and now it's cleared. Wired back in by Butler. Both teams making changes. Jeff Petrie, lead pass to the blue line, tipped out, fired right back in by Colburn. Dubnyk will stop it. Leaves it behind the net. There's a giveaway. Colburn shot. Put it just wide. Dubnyk wasn't ready for that. He was just getting back to the goal crease.
That's desperation.
Now the Flames go offside.
Well, the Oilers not the best start right now. They've got to find that energy level they had in the second. Here's a strange play. Matt Stajan gets around Larson and Belov right here and just rips a shot short side wide. Now Yakupov's had a hard time scoring with his stick. Whoa.
Tough without it.
Little dizzy. Got to find the stick here, fellas.
So better middle frame for the Oilers, but a late goal by Dennis Weidman gives Calgary the 2-goal lead. As they work it back in, the Flames do on goal. Dubnyk will leave that behind the net. Controlled by Corey Potter. Shots 25-15 in favor of the Flames. Nick Schultz plays it ahead. Joensuu over the line, made one too many moves trying to settle the puck down, and Gazdic steps in offside.
Talking about Yakupov and how the goals haven't come easy this year, and Scott mentioned at the top of the show about the comments he had and his agent Igor Larionov. Really, if you look at his history, though, aside from April of last year where he had 11 goals, he's had some pretty quiet months. So I think this is just a good, really good young player that had an exceptional month. And like Sean Monahan, there will be lots of days where there's going to be some growing pains.
Yeah, and 3 of those 11 goals came in the final game of the season last year.
Against the Vancouver team, I believe, that was not very good.
So he wound up finishing first rookie scoring and goals last season, but it's been an interesting week.
Yep.
Igor Larionov doesn't strike me as the kind of guy, and that's Yakupov's agent, to make outlandish statements.
No, he's not. I've known Igor for a number of years, and he's one of the nicest, most down-to-earth guys with a clear thought process that you'll ever meet.
So the fact that he's gone public, sharing his concerns, I think, indicates the level of frustration. There's a shot off the wing that's steered aside by Dubnyk as Baertschi pulled the trigger. Back to the line, Brody works it across with a slapper deflected to the corner by Hemsky. Flames keep the play alive. Pass intercepted by Hemsky, and he'll work the puck to the line and out to center ice to Yakupov. Lost it at the Calgary line and peels off on a change.
This doesn't look like the Edmonton team that played in the second. Gone back to their ways that they were playing in the first.
Stempniak over the line with a wrister on goal. Dubnyk save, rebound, put to the corner. Taylor Hall over there. Skates away from Stempniak. Hall to center ice. Larson with it. So is Eberle. He'll shoot, scores! Jordan Eberle gets his 5th of the year. And the Oilers cut the lead in half.
Flames had a couple of good scoring chances. I'm thinking they're going to put this one away, but this is what talent does for the Edmonton Oilers. Stempniak gets a great chance right here. And then it goes the other way quickly by the Oilers with their transition speed. Taylor Hall just goes right up the boards. And there's going to be Eberle in that high slot area. And you can tell by Bear's reaction, he hasn't seen a release like that very often. That just absolutely fooled him right there. He had no idea where that puck was headed.
Eberle from Hall and Beloff at 3:41. It's a 1-goal game. And this goal by Jordan Eberle is sure to give the Oilers some life.
What a release. He makes it look effortless right here. And again, just watch Bear right here. It's like, whoa, where's that going? I haven't seen anything like that, if not in a long time ever. From the LASIK camera. Yeah, he's just totally fooled by that.
I think I'm kind of trying to jump back across, not expecting the puck to go where it did. Great shot by Eberle. So you're right, Kelly, that start of this period wasn't great for the Oilers, but they do get the goal after a much better second period. We'll see where that leads. Petrie carries back with a wrister high and wide. Sean Monahan, who opened the scoring in this game midway through the first, gets it ahead, and the Flames break back the other way. Yuri Hudler dumps it in. Monahan on the forecheck. Ferentz to it first. Petrie ahead to David Perron, the former St. Louis Blue, out the center. His pass knocked down by Weidman. Quickly ahead to TJ Gagliardi. He'll give chase. And boy, the Flames not going to be happy about that icing call. Looked like Gagliardi out of step. Talk it over, but the faceoff will go to the other end.
Dennis Weidman is known obviously for his shot and his puck-moving abilities, but I think he's a little underrated for his defensive awareness. Here's a good example of it right here. A little bit of a lob pass was intended over his head, and he read that play. Here's that hybrid icing call right there, and I think you can easily argue the case that Gagliardi was going to win the race. But under those conditions, the way that it's set up, you will have the occasional one where the officials are maybe fooled by the player's speed or what have you. So that was one of the rare examples of that.
So the faceoff just outside the Calgary line. I wonder if maybe it was an offside call, Kelly, based on where they're having the faceoff here.
Well, maybe, yeah, you're right. It might have been that. It only makes sense.
Taylor Hall drops it off for Nick Schultz, but that goes down the ice. Larson to it, gave it away. Stajan trying to cut out front. Duplicate the trick he did in the other corner earlier in the period. That didn't work though.
He only had one guy to beat this time.
Hall on the forecheck. Nugent Hopkins in deep now. Hall can't corral the puck. Stajan takes it away, and here comes Baertschi to center. Dumps the puck in at the end of his shift. Wholesale changes for the Flames. The Oilers change to Philip Larson. He was up on the rush on that Edmonton goal. Now Hemsky can't take the pass. Almost stole it back. Hudler works it over the line for Calgary. Plays it deep. Camilleri in. Battling on the end boards. Larson plays it up the wall. Hemsky turns. Feeds it out the center. Gagne can't settle it down, but Belov follows up. Gives it away at the Calgary line. Here goes Monahan. Camilleri fell down, has to catch up. Monahan by himself with a shot. Glove save by Dubnyk, who hangs on.
Scott Oak told us about the first line and their troubles in the first period. Well, boy, did they turn it around in this second period. Especially defensively, they had given up 8 attempted shots in the second period, or in the first period, only 2 that period. And here's a little bit of their work in the second period, getting some down low play, pucks to the net, a couple opportunities. And then, of course, they score the goal in the third, Jordan Eberle. So certainly, I'm sure they've taken the coach's advice way to ramp up their energy level.
Yeah, and obviously they're already are a key in any potential comeback for the Oilers.
Yeah.
The top line's got to get going. There's a giveaway in the Calgary zone. Flames fight to get it back. David Jones drops it off. Schmid gets it ahead. Smith dumps it in, hit by Petrie. Belov back. Checked by Gagliardi. Backlund's there to help out. Uncle Backlund's had a good game tonight. Puck goes off the glass down the ice. They wave off icing. Both teams start a change. Past the 6-minute mark of the third. 1-goal game here in Calgary. Stepniak tips it deep, Acton to it. Andrew Ference now. Boards for Gazdic, can't clear. Wideman kept it in, put it to the front of the goal, intercepted by Nick Schultz. Now given away again by Gazdic. Oilers recover, and Andrew Ference bats it out to center ice. Stage it. Stepniak. Berchi on the forecheck. Ference back to it. Staging comes in on the half board. Tries to get it out front. Oilers take it away. Joensuu, blue attire, gets back to his feet, plays the puck into the Calgary zone. Oilers complete a change. Not up quite yet. Top line coming out. Berchi will backhand it in. Monahan on the forecheck. Dubnyk leaves it for Ference. Circles the goal, plays it to the line, not out. Shot by Brody off a skate wide. Big hop out of the corner, back to the front of the net. Larson there to take it away. Andrew Ference ahead to Eberle. Clears the zone, bouncer into Calgary territory. TJ Brody back to it. Hall on his tail. Taylor Hall getting help from Nugent Hopkins. Larson right side, goes to a loose puck. Plays it behind the net. Nugent Hopkins was tied up. Belov activates. Puck goes to the other corner. Butler over there finds Backlund at center. Makes a move to the middle of the ice. Over the line on the right side of Camilleri. Camilleri puts it deep to David Jones. Out of Backlund in the corner. Tied up by Eberle. Jones helps out front. Camilleri shot. Pad save Dubnyk. And Larson gets the loose puck. Turns back to some open ice and finds Belov. Good chance there for the Flames. And Dubnyk had the answer. Keeps it a 2-1 hockey game. Inside 12 minutes to go in regulation. Here goes Nail Yakupov. Right down the middle. To Gagne on the right side with a shot through traffic. He scored! A bouncer batted in by Hemsky. And we're tied at 2.
Yakupov started this playoff with terrific speed through the neutral zone. Then he dished it off from there. Here he comes, right up the middle, and then he's going to dish it off to Gagne, far side. Now, what does this hit along the way? And it goes up in the air, and there's Hemsky. We talked about Ryan Smith and his hand-eye coordination. How about that from Hemsky? Follow the bouncing puck. And that clearly is underneath the crossbar also. So that's about halfway there. And that hits a leg. I think it might hit Calgary defender.
Hemsky's 4th of the year. Gagne and Yakupov were the helpers.
Yeah.
And the Oilers.
You don't need a long review on that one. That was pretty clear that it was below the crossbar. He waited too, because it clearly was above the crossbar at one point. So what turned out to be a slow start for the Oilers the first couple minutes of this third. Quick turnaround. They get energized with the Eberle goal now. Let's see what happens.
Hemsky snaps an 11-game goalless drought with that goal too, Kelly. So
yes.
breaks a logjam for him and ties this game at 2. Will be 8-18 mark.
Yakupov to the goal, 18.
Yuri Hoodler dumps it in. Camilleri on the forecheck. Ferentz to it. Gagne trying to clear it, can't, but it's gloved down at the line. That'll be a whistle on a glove hand pass. So 2 goals here in the 3rd period for the Oilers. Eberle and Hemsky doing the damage. We're tied at 2 on Hockey Night in Canada. Time now for Hockey Night Close-Up, brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Kelly, the Oilers will come back to tie this game. Probably doesn't happen if Devan Dubnyk isn't sharp when the Flames were all over them early.
No surprise we're featuring Dubnyk. He's been outstanding this game. He's been outstanding for a while now for the Edmonton Oilers, coming back from that ankle injury. And I'll tell you, it's pretty cool to see. Ran into him about 6 o'clock outside the Oiler dressing room this evening, and boy, did he look relaxed. Not a care in the world.
Former Kamloops Blazer. He's born in Regina but raised here in Calgary, making his 7th straight start. Ryan Smith works the puck in. Knocked down on a good check there. Derek Smith with a hit. Puck clear. This will be icing on Calgary. Just gets there.
So as you know, Rick, I'm not the biggest believer in stats. I know that they can make a point occasionally and so on, but how's this for making sense of something? So Jordan Eberle has 16 points on the season. Take a guess how many of those are on the road? 14
of his 16 points.
Can you imagine that? Can you explain that to me, why a guy that talented only has 2 points at home?
Well, I can't.
No.
I mean, the Oilers have struggled at home, period. And
of course,
it's just an indication of the overall struggle. I just don't, there's no logical reason
Right.
why, Kelly. I mean, they were that close to being shut out at home for 4 straight games. They got the 1 goal by Yakupov.
I know.
I mean, that saved them that indignation, but yeah, that's a real head scratcher.
It can be a real weird game from time to time. You know, you try and say, well, of course, Jordan Eberle, most players like to play at home, and he's going to light it up at some point, and still stuck at 2 points.
We're stuck at 2-2 here in Calgary. Pair of 3rd period goals by the Oilers. So we approach the midway point of the final period of regulation. Backlund hit hard at center ice and knocked down, and he comes back and gives a shot to the back of Hemsky. Puck fired in. Bear out of the goal to Wideman. Yakupov over, trying to pick that pass off along the boards, but he coughed it up himself. Flames back the other way. Hoodler drop pass to Monahan. Back to Hoodler, back to Camilleri. He gets a shot away. That goes off the stick of Belov and out of play.
A little bit of physical play here now. Gagliardi gets involved with Yakupov right there. Then Hemsky comes after Backlund. Backlund showing a little bit of a mean streak right there. Nice to see. You can see that he's definitely more engaged tonight than he was Thursday's game. So now with the score 2-2, a little bit more these little one-on-one battles.
Monahan on the draw. Ryan Smith comes in to take it for the Oilers. They win it. Petrie. Lead pass. Finds David Perron. Smith goes for the net. Perron with a shot up high. Goes wide. Berra may have got a piece of that. Goal was mask.
I think it did.
Yeah. Perron right back in. Down the left wing. Boyd Gordon in deep. Into the corner for Smith. Perron now on the right side. Gordon's out front. David Perron. Sharp angle shot, scores! Perron able to squeak that in off the shoulder of Berra, and the Oilers have scored 3 straight to take the lead.
You can hear Perron yell with excitement up here in the booth. Pretty exciting time for this Oilers team to mount a what would seem an improbable comeback right here. Take a look. If Berra, of course, doesn't get square to the puck. No, he's leaning. He's cheating off that post, and that's an intentional shot from Perron. He sees that Berra is leaning, and he just fires it shoulder high. And you always wonder why the goaltenders are taught this. He's 6'3", Berra is, and I just don't know why you want to give up the top part of the net on a bad angle goal, and it's an epidemic league-wide. It's not just Berra.
Smart play by Perron as he gets his 5th of the season. And the Oilers coming back in for more. Up 3-2. Here's Ferris. Larson. He'll shoot it. Nice save by Barrett. Got the stick out and steers that up over the glass. Not a play.
What was once a really sure 26-year-old goaltender, he's not so sure right now.
Looks a little more like a rookie now, but he bounces back with this stop to keep it a 1-goal game. Edmonton 3, Calgary 2 on Hockey Night in Canada. Kelly, the Oilers score 3 in a 6-minute and 42-second span in the third period to take the lead.
3 right-handed players score 3 different kind of goals. Everly with the traditional wrist shot, then Hemsky backs it out of the air, and then Perron from behind the goal line just banks it in off the goaltender. So the Oilers are up 3-2.
Great shot in the first one. Weird bounce in the second one, and a bit of a tough goal in the third one, but give the Oilers credit. After a very poor first period, they played much better in the second, get rewarded in the third, and suddenly Calgary, for the first time tonight, playing from behind. Here's Stajan in deep. Put it between the feet of Stempniak. Shot from the point, never got through. That one off, fell off to the far boards, and out comes Hall to center ice. Now Eberle in on the right side, drop past the Hall. Knocked down by Berchi. Give away at the line. Gagne keeps the play alive. Here's Eberle. Gagne's out front. Eberle couldn't get the puck through. Taken away by Butler. Monahan will try and clear. Can't do it. Kept onside by Sam Gagne. Now he'll peel off. Butler has the puck. Monahan tips it in. Approaching the 12-minute mark of the third period. Shots are 31-19 Calgary, but the Oilers up 3-2. Pass for Yakupov misses. Doesn't go far enough for icing. Weidman misses Russell. There's a shot off the right side from Hemsky that goes wide. Monahan gets it out. Chris Russell jumps up on the rush, but he's checked at the line by Larson. Here comes Hemsky, all by himself. Poke check by Weidman. Hemsky in the corner. Took a bump, plays it around. Boyd Gordon just off the bench, chips it behind the net. Dennis Weidman's there. Ryan Smith pushes him off the puck. Here's Gordon down low. Suddenly it's the Oilers with all the jump. David Perron lost the puck. Gets it back. Perron turns to the half boards. Back to the line to Larson. Larson with a long shot. Put it wide intentionally, looking for a ricochet. Perron behind the net to Smith. Gordon goes out front. Ryan Smith waits. Nobody goes after him. Smith takes his time. Now he's forced to the corner. Here's Larson. Now in to the point. There's a shot by Ferris that deflects on goal. Barrett got the right pad down to make the save. He's lost his stick. Flames get the puck out. And here comes Backlund. Down the wing. Fanned on his wrister. Goes to the end boards. Ryan Smith trying to tie it up in his skates. Can't. Schmid pokes it back to the corner. Larson bumps Backlund. Perron, who has the go-ahead goal in the third, able to clear the zone. Oilers change. Flames change up front as well. Colburn's line on the ice. Lead pass deflected in. David Jones played it back to the point, but Schmid hadn't gotten there yet. Now he's got to give chase because Hall has speed. Hall works it out. Front throws a pass towards Eberle. That's knocked away. What a good defensive play by Schmid.
Hall knew he had him.
Eberle gets it back, puts a shot off the stick high wide. Comes back to Petrie. Fires it around. Colburn over to it. Can't get it up. Had his pocket picked on a good play by Nugent Hopkins. David Jones trying to tie him up. Puck comes back to Petrie. Roller shoots, deflected just wide. That didn't miss by much. 6 minutes to go. Top line for the Oilers buzzing. Eberle turns. Flames tired. Hall. Eberle. Taylor Hall. Pass deflects. And finally corralled by Brody, and he'll skate it out. Calgary desperately needs a change, and they'll get it here.
Same with the Nugent Hopkins line.
Andrew Ference. Jeff Petrie. Nice pass to Gagne. Over the line with Hemsky. Hemsky works it behind the net. Off the boards, back to Ference. Fell off. One-timer stopped by Barrett. Puck goes to the corner. Ference. Yakupov now. Spins away from Russell. Neil Yakupov. Had it poked off the stick. Stempniak there off the glass and out. High bouncer. Flames offside. Doesn't matter. Hemsky gets the puck. Here comes Yakupov. Works it in down the right side. Puts it across. Perron just off the bench. Gets the puck. Cuts out front. Perron with a shot deflected. Nice stop by Berra. And the rebound's taken away. Camilleri over the line. Knocked away from him. Schmid regroups at center ice. 4:40 left. Third period. Woodland carries in. Slap shot. Deflects up high. Stays in play. Caught the top of the glass. Ryan Smith plays it out. Perron to center. Dumps it deep. Hits a glove in behind the net, but it's picked up there by Ladislav Schmid. Former Oiler gets it out to Hudler at center. Plays it across. Weidman carries in. Flips it deep. Larson hard up. Hudler can't cut it off. Perron will bring it out. David Perron is center. His pass deflects off Russell right to the goal. Berra leaves it there for Brody. 4 minutes left in the third period. 3-2 Edmonton. TJ Brody fires the puck in. Berchi on the forecheck. Puts it behind the net. David Jones battles Ference. Nugent Hopkins gets it to Hall. Makes a nice play to Petrie. He'll skate it out the center. Jeff Petrie fires it deep. In and around. Everly to it. Tipped to the side of the goal. Broken up by Russell. Hall gets it back. Everly out front of the backhand. Turns to the forehand with a shot. Great save by Berra. Keeps it a one-goal game. Here's Everly again. Poke check by Monahan. 3 Flames out the center. Gagliardi down the wing. Gagliardi with a shot on goal. Dubnyk makes the save. Belloff clears the rebound. And Hall will flip it out.
Wow, some great saves by Berra there. He's found some composure again.
Gagliardi, long shot, missed the net. Yakupov can't clear. Knocked down at the line. Here's Gagliardi again with the wrist. Rebound! Dubnyk with 2 saves. And the puck goes to the right side. Back to the line. Weidman shoots, deflected high and wide. And the puck goes out of play as the Flames buzz looking for the equalizer. But it's still 3-2 Edmonton on Hockey Night in Canada. Jake's fishing trip turns into a murder mystery in the woods. Shannon Tweed guest stars on an all-new Republic of Doyle Wednesday at 9 on CBC TV.
All kinds of great scoring chances, both ends. Perron throws it at front. Gagne in front right there, gets a good chance, and Eberle spins around and fires out. It was an amazing save by Berra. Then the Flames get their attack going. Gagliardi to the front with Backlund trying to bury that rebound. Great goaltending right there.
Yeah, both ends of the rink. Dubnyk, 2 big stops there to keep it a 3-2 lead Edmonton. All Flames in the first. Pretty even in the second. All Edmonton in the third. Inside 3 minutes to go. Monahan tries to feed the pass through to Weidman. That deflects to Larson. He'll play it out. Yakupov down the wing. Gagne with him. Yakupov in deep. You can hear them call for the cycle to get going. Eberle, Gagne. Eberle by himself down low right now as Hall and Nugent Hopkins come off the bench. Nick Schultz behind the net for Hall. Missed him with a pass. Couldn't get a stick to it. Berchi will try and clear. Gave it away to Nugent Hopkins. Down low to Eberle. Checked by Russell. Hall follows up. Cuts up front. Hall with a shot. That's deflected by Stepniak and out of play.
It's time for the Crown Royal Icebreaker. Why not try Crown Royal Maple on the Rocks? Crown Royal, the official whiskey partner of the NHL.
Oilers with some good cycle. Rick, you talked about Gagne yelling for the cycle, and Hall gets a puck down low, thinks he can take the puck to the middle of the ice, get a great scoring chance, but the Flames with some good defense right there.
Yeah, a really tough first period for that top line for the Oilers, and they've been much better ever since then.
Yeah.
Another great chance there. Flames looking to pull even again. Camilleri fires it in. Stepniak. Camilleri chopped away from him by Petrie. Butler will keep it in. Shot from the point, blocked. Gordon got in the way of that one. Perron flips it in. Ryan Smith in the forecheck. 1:40 to go in the third. Edmonton up by 1. Keep an eye on the Calgary goal. Berra looks to the bench, but the Oilers get the puck. He's got to stay in. Pass to Perron goes behind him. He'll just fire it deep. Weidman to it. Reto Berra makes his way to the bench as the Flames break out. Here's Gagliardi carrying in. Empty net. Shot on Dubnyk makes the save. Russell sharp angle. Put it just wide. That didn't miss by much. Dubnyk may have got a piece of it.
That was deflected along the way, too.
Taylor Hall puts the puck off the glass and out. The Flames call for a penalty, but that definitely hit glass first, so the faceoff will stay to Dubnyk's left.
Boyd Gordon has been so good in the face-off circle, as you said, and here's his 36th shot block of the young season so far. Does it all for this team. Here's that chance that Dubnyk just got a piece of it. Here it is from a strange angle. It's hard to tell what that hit along the way.
Calgary Flames call a timeout here as Bob Hartley gets the troops to the bench with the empty net. The 6th attackers out there for the Flames. 1:05 to go. Regulation time, and it's been a game of momentum swings. All Calgary,
Yeah.
and then all Edmonton.
Other than, it's been all Edmonton this third period, other than a couple of scoring chances by the Flames after the first 2 minutes of this third.
Goals by Eberle, Hemsky, and Perron in a span of 6 minutes, 42 seconds. Took it from a 2-0 Calgary lead to a 3-2 Edmonton lead with 65 seconds left in regulation.
Dubnyk sitting pretty quietly on a 33 save performance so far at the minute 5 to go. It looks so solid in there, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
he has. He made some great saves in that first period where it was all Flint.
Yeah.
Got some luck too, a couple
Sure
of goal posts
did.
in there.
Yeah.
There's Boyd Gordon out there for the faceoff. 4th best in the league at this against Stajan, who wins it for Calgary cleanly. Back to Weidman, shot put back just wide. Here's Hoodler with a shot off the boards, didn't get it through. Smith will bring it out. Empty net, ahead to Perron. He shoots off the goalpost. Puck goes to the corner. Flames still at life. Gordon chips the puck to the front of the goal. They score! Stepniak may have batted that in himself. And that should seal it with 47.5 seconds to go.
Matt Stajan clearly frustrated after the goal goes in, banged a stick on the Flames net. Here's maybe why the frustration. He wins the draw cleanly from Boyd Gordon, gets it back to Weidman. And then after that, the Edmonton Oilers found a way to compete hard for this puck, and you're right, I think Stepniak accidentally threw that in his own net. He's been a real competitor tonight, though.
He's had a great game. That's a tough way to finish it off
Sure
for him.
is.
Trying to do the right thing. Attempting to bat that puck away from the slot. Put it right into the empty net. So off the draw, Barrett right to the bench again. 4-2 Oilers. 4 unanswered goals here in the third period.
Empty netter. Count the goal, 19-13.
Perron gets credited for the goal. 2nd of the game, 6th of the season. 20 seconds left. Shot from a sharp angle. Jones puts the rebound wide. Brody in deep. Plays the puck down low. Ferentz couldn't get it out. Brody again with a shot. That deflects wide of the goals. Time ticks down. And the Edmonton Oilers, just the 2nd time this season when trailing after 2, come roaring from behind and knock off the Flames by a score of 4-2.
Oilers should learn a lesson from this. They were very happy with their last half of the game last night versus San Jose. Sure, they're thrilled with their last half of the game tonight here in Calgary. Just start better. Give yourself a chance from the get-go and don't wait for your goaltender to hold you in the game. You know, play 60 minutes, 65 if need be, and then you'll work your way out of this.
Devan Dubnyk was very good. It's a hug from Jason LaBarbera. He was good in the first especially. Calgary kicking themselves for not being up by more than 1-0, but they had the 2-0 lead after 2. All Edmonton in the third. 4 goals in the final 20 minutes. And the Oilers snap a 5-game losing skid with a 4-2 win over Calgary. The Flames have dropped 6 in a row. As we go back to Studio 42, here's Ron MacLean.